Hello everyone, thank you for watching. My name is David. Today's my question and answer videos that I have every single Monday. I want to welcome new subscribers to the channel. Hello, welcome everybody. Please ask questions. I do this every single Monday. Just go down below into the comment section, ask anything you want, and I'll answer your questions in the next Q&A next Monday, okay? I want to talk about Shane's Law petition. I hope I'm not bothering too many people that have to hear this every single Monday. But real quick, Shane was somebody who was suffering from a smear campaign from a narcissist for so long. It was so intrusive in all parts of his life. He didn't have any help. There was nowhere to turn. He didn't know what to do, and he took his own life. And someone is hoping that he doesn't die in vain and started a petition to start a law that will prevent things like this, that will stop people from smearing people and attacking and targeting people like this. So I ask you guys if you could please support this by just going down to the link down below in the description box, follow it, and just sign the petition. That would be awesome. Thank you very much for doing that. I try to do a recommendation every single week, and so this week I'd like to recommend a book from Alice Miller. And the book is called The Drama of the Gifted Child, The Search for the True Self by Alice Miller, A-L-I-C-E, and Miller, M-I-L-L-E-R. A quote from her is, "Wherever I look, I see the commandments to honor one's parents, and nowhere of a commandment that calls for the respect of a child." So she's obviously big about childhood repression, and it's really good reading if you guys have, troubled childhood, problems in your childhood, things like this. People talk about a lot about kind of finding the inner child in themselves, stuff like this. Good readings. I recommend it. And all I ask from you guys, please, if you want to ask a question, just give your location. Tell us where you're from. Give us something general if you want. Don't want to be specific, okay? Thank you very much. So let's get started. And first question is from Narnia in Greece. Hello, Narnia. Don't we become smearers ourselves when we finally get out of this situation and have to inform our circle of friends about what happened so we can be supported by our friends? Good question, Narnia. And I was just talking about smear campaigns with Shane's Law and what that's trying to do. So I know there's a lot of confusion by people, believe it or not, and I enjoy to see, and I'm glad that people are cautious and aware and don't want to be guilty of smearing people. So, look, we've got to talk about this experience, don't we? So it's about appropriation. What's appropriate? Telling people close to us and sharing an experience that you would like to have some validation from, some feedback, something that was traumatic and hurtful and abusive to you is good to do. I recommend to do something like that. Not necessarily to go there to get fixed or have them fix all your problems. You might need to go to someone professional for things, but you can talk about it and share that experience and share your feelings with people that you care about and trust. Okay? It's about who's appropriate to share it to, right? So if we don't want to smear another person, then we're careful who we tell and what we say. So, I might talk about something I've had in my past, about an experience I've had with someone in my past, but I'll leave it at just that. I'll say I had an experience in my past with somebody that, this is how it happened. I don't need to say anything about the other person. And do I need to? Do I need to say that? You know what I mean? We don't need to post things on Facebook about a relationship that ended at all. I can't imagine what would be needed to post on Facebook about an old relationship that is now over, or much about any relationships at all. So we want to, it's not, people think smearing is like slander and libel. Like as long as we say what's true, it's okay. It doesn't matter what's true. It doesn't matter what our opinions are, things like this. We don't need to be talking bad about people. Okay? Shane's Law, the experience that Shane went through was a narcissist was publicly posting things about him and his wife. and all kinds of bad things, saying they're just horrible people. And her whole thing, this narcissist's whole thing was to convince people in public and convince people in his life that he's smearing them. You know, that it's the other way around. And it got into this big thing. What the point is we don't do it. We just don't do it. We don't publicly sit there and post things bad about people, say things about people. We don't post videos about people claiming accusations and saying bad things about people. We don't write things on Facebook, all different social medias, right? We don't do that. You know, if you want to tell your friends, good. Are they mutual friends? Well, then maybe you shouldn't say anything. Maybe if you say something, you should be careful. Maybe, does that make sense? I hope that clears it up for you. I'm glad that you're trying to be aware and alert and conscious of not hurting people, you know, and not stirring stuff up and slandering and smearing people, targeting people, defaming their character. We just don't do that. And if they do it, then you let them do it. Let them be the person that has bad behavior, not you. Okay? We don't want to keep going back and forth. I hope that helps. Good luck. Tell your friends. You know, talk to your friends. They should know about what's going on in your life, especially the biggest experiences you're having. Right? Just be careful who you're telling and what you're saying. That's all. You know, they know your ex-boyfriend. And if they're not friends with them, then spill your guts to them. You know, but you don't need to sit there and say there's, you know, such a bad, horrible person anyways. Just tell them what they did to you, and, you know, they can be the judge of that, you know. Chantel from Canada. Hello, Chantel. I knew what the narc was doing and ghosted him, but not before I left him a special gift from me. Because I'm sweet like that. He left a thermos he typically fills with apple juice, and I filled it with my urine, and I believe he drank it. Just the thought of him handling my pee is worth the annoyance. Consider this one for the victims. Did I cross a line? And first I want to say I tend to shorten up people's questions sometimes. Sometimes they're pretty long, and sometimes I write them down. Sometimes I just copy them off my computer, but I like to shorten them up sometimes. If I get anyone's questions wrong by doing that or missing important facts or whatever, just please ask me again, okay? So, anyways, Chantel. I'm smiling, not because I think it's funny what you did. I'm smiling that I think it's funny that you asked me if you cross a line. You know, behavior is all we have to point a finger at, right? At a narcissist, what a narcissist did to me, right? So why do it back? You know, just, it doesn't make us any better. It's not one for the victims. You know, if this was teams, which it's not, them against us, which I hope that's not how you feel, which it's, I think you do. That's so black and white, for one. And we're not competing against people, you know, and they lose no matter what because they're the one with the personality disorder, right? And we've already lost because they victimized us, right? So why lose again by victimizing them? You victimized him. I'm sorry, but you did. It's not self-defense, right? And then if I get into, you know, how bad was this, how bad was that? Look, if he abused you, I'm sorry. You didn't say he did, but I'm don't mean to assume. I'm presuming that that he abused you. That's your claim. Why you're justifying doing that, but it's not okay. It's not okay. Okay. I help clients a lot with reactionary abuse, meaning somebody's being abused long enough, they fight back and they might hit back, they might abuse back, okay? And I try to let both parties, you know, well, the party I'm talking to, try to let them know that both are wrong, both are bad, but we take accountability for what we did. That's all we can do. is we take accountability for our behaviors and our actions and how we treat other people. Okay? I don't care if they don't. I don't care if someone else doesn't. I don't care if someone on the other side of the world doesn't. And I don't care if someone doesn't right next to you. You got to take accountability, and we all do, for our own behaviors. Okay? So, you asked me, did you cross the line? And I believe I answered something to this effect of, I would ask yourself that. Because all that matters is how you feel about it, not me. You know, how do you feel about it? And if you're proud of yourself, I would keep asking yourself that question. And keep asking, and keep asking, keep asking until you're not so proud. Okay? I hope that makes sense, and I hope I'm not being too hard on you, but revenge is not okay. And I'm trying to tell you guys the healthy way to handle things. And if you do so, you'll be much better off. Trust me. Because at the end of the day, those are the things that you will remember, is what you've done. Trust me. Okay? Thank you. Top shelf. I'm not sure where you're from. 2 questions. Is it possible to be a high-functioning borderline? Well, taking that as a loose term, sure. Yeah. I mean, personality disorders are on a spectrum. They're on a scale. You know, some are worse than others. Some can function more than others. Sure. You know, it amazes me. I say this a lot. It amazes me when I see borderlines keeping and holding down jobs, especially hard jobs, stressful jobs, jobs in power and stuff. It's amazing. It really is. You know, they keep their whole life is just a total wreck, and they keep their job. I mean, you know, our brains are built to do that somewhat. Keep our actions separate like that, and be able to concentrate just on our emotional life and keep it separate from our work life. But it still amazes me. It's amazing, because eventually when the emotional part of your life falls apart completely, the rest of your life tends to do so, as you guys know. So I'm amazed by that. And yes, there can be borderlines that can function better than others. Sure. Second question, what about family that enables them? Yes, that's how a lot of these disorders are created. Borderline, sociopathy, narcissism, a lot of it, major component is enabling. And parents can enable in all kinds of different ways. Family, I think you said family people can enable in all kinds of different ways. It's not just, I'm going to go to the store and get the alcoholics some beer. You know, that's enabling, right? But there's so many more different types of enabling your children, especially your children. So, you know, borderlines. So, how, you know, teaching children entitlement by, you know, supplying everything they need and not teaching them any kind of value to it or hard work for it or anything, right? Just, you deserve it. Oh yeah, I deserve it. I get it. I get whatever I want. It's always given to me, right? The spoiled child, you know. Manipulation is taught, right? As soon as the child starts to manipulate the parent either falls for it or realizes it's going on and doesn't hold them accountable. No accountability, right? So the child does something wrong and says, well, I didn't mean to. It's sibling's fault. Cry, you know, and so they don't get the punishment. You know, I'm sorry, you can cry and you can blame whoever you want and you still get the punishment. You know, or you didn't know? Okay, well now you're going to know because you get the punishment, right? So, yeah, enabling is a major component of some of these personality disorders, especially borderline. Bon Bailey from Ireland, hello. Why do they always talk about their exes while in relationships with you? Good question. I talk about this a lot. You can watch a lot of videos. I don't even know how many to recommend. I talk about stuff like this about why they do this and stuff. And basically, this is why it's important, and I tell you guys, don't date right away, right after a massive, abusive, traumatic relationship has ended. Don't date right away. Trust me. Don't do it. You need to heal. You need to learn. Okay? If you don't learn, you'll repeat it over and over again. Trust me, you will. So, what do? They repeat it over and over again, right? Why? They don't learn anything. They jump right into another relationship, into another one, into another one. Correct? Correct. So if they don't heal, they don't learn, it sticks in their brain. Just like it is with you. Just like we sit here and ruminate and focus on it and can't, they'll get distracted because they're with someone else, but they're not over it. They're not healed from it. They haven't learned. They don't feel better about it. It bothers them. They might be traumatic. They might miss you. All these things, right? So they're with the next person talking about you, and you can safely assume that they are doing that. I guarantee you. That is just a profound thing for specifically like borderlines, narcissists to do. Big time. I mean, they will bring up their ex. It's because they haven't figured out what the hell happened yet. That's what healing is learning, understanding, then feeling better about it. They don't understand. The borderline is the unhealed, traumatized victim. They're never healed. They're never healed. So every relationship they have will be ruined. And they'll never understand that relationship because they haven't healed from their whole entire childhood. And they have a relationship, and then that's traumatic, and they don't heal from that, and they have jump right into another one, so they don't heal from that. And then that one's bad, they jump right into another one, and they didn't heal from that last one, so they talk about it, and they talk about it, they talk about them all, and they talk about their childhood, don't they? They bring up their childhood and how bad their mom was, and then they go over to their mom's house the next day. Hope that makes sense. If not, you have more to ask me, please do. Thank you. Raven from Colorado. Hello, Raven. And you know what? Where are we? I think I'm going to wait till part 2 to answer the rest. I know I didn't get through very many in part 1, but I've got some more in part 2. Thank you guys. If you could do me a big favor, I'm trying to get this information out there for people that really need it and don't even know what the hell this is and they're looking for answers. The best way to do that to help me is to support this video and thumbs up and down, comment, save it, share it, put it on social media and stuff like that for people. Thank you. We'll see you in part 2. Bye.